and welcome to the Sugar and Spice Broome's Coach's Corner. I'm joined by Broome head football coach Lynn Fleming. Well, Coach, it's hard to believe, but we've finished 2 seasons now. We're down to that 3rd season within a season playoff time, though. So you finished up regular season this past Friday night against Woodruff, and you will be playing a familiar foe first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, Powdersville. You know, it's always good playing those guys. It seemed like I think this is the 3rd time we've matched up with them in the playoffs since I've been here. So, you know, we've been playing them every year. We're familiar with them. Obviously, played them this year. So, you know, we always enjoy playing those guys. They're a good football team. They do a great job, and you know, so we're just excited, you know, to still be playing, you know, this time of the year.
All right, before we get into the matchup for the playoff game, let's go back and just talk a little bit about the regular season thing. What did you learn from your team going through the non-conference and conference schedule? What were some of the things that you learned and, you know, that you were pleased with to see?
Well, the biggest thing I was pleased with is how hard these guys play. You know, they just each and every Friday they show up and they get after it, and you know, they play and really, you know, just about every football game, you know, we've been in. You know, it's a play or two here or there, and you know, it's a different game. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. You know, they just have a lot of guts, and they just show up on Friday, and you know, no matter what the score, no matter you know what the record is, they just show up and play.
Now, I know in the conference there, it seemed like every game that you had in conference play that you moved the football. You know, right there, you could have been up 21-20 at the half against Mountain View. You could have been up by a larger score against Union at the half and like that, though. But it just seemed like when you got in the red zone down close that something that happened and you couldn't get it in. And I know South Carolina struggled with that earlier in the year there, though. But there's no easy fix for that. What do you do in that situation?
Well, there's not. You know, it just has to be a mentality. You know, when you get down there in the red zone, the field shrinks. You know, it's definitely advantage to the defense. It gets smaller. You know, of course the back of the end zone gets closer, and you know, so there's not a lot of vertical stuff involved in it. So, you know, it's just you know, it's just a thing. It's just a mentality that I think we kind of got in our head right now. We've done some different formations. We've done some different type sets, some trick plays to try to get us and overcome that. And you know, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just we just got to have the mentality that, you know, we're just going to take it over. And you know, somebody's going to make a play for us, and we just keep battling. You know, I don't think it's, you know, any one person's fault. I think it's just you know, it's a combination of you know, of a lot of things. So, you know, we're going to try to continue to get better at that this week. We're going to work a red zone tomorrow, and you know, again, just try to get better at that mentality of getting the ball in the end zone.
I noticed in the Woodruff game that you even on one of the trips down there decided to go for a field goal to try to get some points down there. And plus, was that too maybe in the situation that playoffs could come down to you have to make a field goal to win the game, and you haven't had an opportunity to kick a lot of them this year? Was that more or less to try to help you playoff-wise if you needed one?
Well, you know, we're just trying to, again, something from, you know, a mental standpoint, just to kind of get us over the hump. You know, Roger's done a great job for us, and he's been very consistent all year long. And, you know, we just want to give him opportunity to kick a field goal in that situation because, you know, there's a possibility that, again, like you said, it being that in the playoffs. So when that opportunity arises, we want to be ready. And, you know, we're just trying a lot of things, you know, just to kind of get us over that hump of putting the ball in or putting points on the board. You know, and we tried that, and you know, it didn't work out for us Friday, and you know, but we're going to try it again. I mean, it's, you know, he's, like I said, we got all the faith in the world in him, and he's worked so hard and done a good job for us, and you know, we got faith in all these guys. So you know, hopefully he'll get an opportunity to do that again next week.
What were some of the pleasant surprises maybe players that had a great year this year, a good year that you weren't really anticipating though, but what were some of the good surprises maybe you didn't know that some of these guys were as good as they were going to be?
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest surprises of the year is Booker. We put Taekwon in it was a tough situation going into the summer, not knowing, hadn't really been in that position, and you go all through the summer, and of course you're only in helmet, so there's only so much you can do and learn, and it's. He's just continued to get better every week, and and he's a product of a lot of things. He's a product of our offensive line playing well. He's a product of us blocking and playing well at receiver, and the quarterback position, being able to get the ball around to other guys, and but he's had to step into a tough role. Again, like I said, that's a tough role in our offense. So he's done a good job, and we've had several guys that have stepped up and done a really good job. Grayson Bradley's done a really good job for us, and he played primarily offense, and in the last several weeks, he's been out there at defense, and not only at a DB position where he originally plays. He's been playing linebacker. So we've had a lot of guys that's done that and stepped up in many roles. We've had some injuries and some other things come up where some guys didn't get to play, and we've had to plug some guys in. And most of those guys we've had to plug in are guys that's going to return for us next year. So it's all been it's all been good, and it's been a good experience for them, and it's been a good experience for them going into the playoffs, and going the next year as well.
One young man I think really surprised me on having the impact he's had in all three phases of the game has been Braden Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
With things he's done, not only he's a top-notch receiver. I think averaging over 20 yards of reception, catching the ball there. But he's, I think, come through as a pretty good cover guy for you, and then special teams on returns and doing the punting too. So.
Yeah, it might be a surprise to a lot of people. It's not a surprise to us. We feel like we knew what we had in him and what he was going to do and how he was going to be. So we just decided the way he's played. So.
Some other guys there too that I think have really stepped up. That you've had, some really good receivers this year. That Trayshawn was led the team with 6 touchdowns this year, though. But some of your other guys really played well. I thought that Waggerman has shown that when the ball's thrown his way, that can be a reliable receiver for you too.
Yeah, all 4 of those guys we put out there, we feel real confident in, and we just. We just try to spread them around, so teams each week can't just work on covering one guy. So I feel like we've done a pretty good job of that, and all of our receivers have done a really good job of that as well, as making plays when they get the football in their hands.
It looks too that towards the end of the season started seeing some new names and faces out there on defense that were starting to make plays for you that we weren't calling their name a whole lot early in the year, though. But can you talk about maybe some of the guys that you saw improvement on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I think, Jaden Thomas, I think, is tremendously improved as the year has gone along. He's done a great job for us at linebacker, and Jalen Ramirez has done a great job for us as linebacker. Had to step in there and play, especially towards the end of the season. Jalen Austin, we've kind of moved around. He started out at linebacker, and we've moved him down to defensive end line, and that's where he's thriving, doing a good job. Bryson Airwood, Ricky McCullough, Cedric Fernandez, all these guys are giving us some quality minutes. Trey and Braden have all kind of double dipping back there in the secondary. So we've had a lot of guys. Asher Littlejohn's been very consistent for us at corner. So we've had a lot of guys that's played. Amaje's, he was a two-way starter the other night. He's played a lot of snaps. So, we got a lot of guys out there that we can depend on and count on, and have played really hard for us and put a lot of time in this program. You had kind of a surprise guy for our player of the week, defensive player of the week. I think had 8 tackles, though, but Deacon Lawson came through and had a good game for you against Woodruff. He did. Deacon's the one he's really been coming on here at the end of the year. He was injured a little bit, midway through the season, but he's come on. He's played hard. He's made a lot of plays for us, and especially last week. So we're real proud of him stepping in and doing that.
All right, getting to our game that with Powdersville, how much of an advantage is it having played them earlier in the year? And I've played them so much, though, but this is a team that you've got film on, you got experience and all of having a second shot at. I know in the past there's been some times, I can remember a playoff several years ago, playoff game at Woodruff that Woodruff had won big during the regular season by several touchdowns, went down there and beat them on the final play of the game on a field goal. But how big is it maybe getting a second shot at some of these teams?
Well, it's big. You know, I think we played them 3 years ago maybe in the playoffs. I think they were 10-0, and you know, I think we lost by a point. You know, came down
about a foot short on a 2-point conversion to win it.
You know, it's you know, we've had some really good football games with these guys, and you know, I don't expect anything different. I don't know, you know, if it's an advantage or you know, to get another shot, or you know, I think a little bit of pressure's on them. You know, definitely. So, you know, we're excited about it. We're excited about playing them. You know, just because we are familiar, we know, you know, we feel like we know what they're going to try to do. You know, on both sides of the ball. So, you know, hopefully our guys are a little more familiar with it, and second time we game plan for them. So, it's definitely a plus in our favor.
When you went back and watched the film, there were some things in there, again, some plays and all, you've got a chance. But did you see some things that you might want to try to do different this time playing them, as far as maybe I'm not asking for you to reveal any secrets of the game, but just maybe see some things after seeing, you know, what worked and what didn't work well against them first time?
Yeah, you know, we try to go through each week and put together a package of plays that, you know, we feel good about based on where we feel like they're going to line up, and you know, that's kind of where we start going into the game until the game gets going, and we kind of figure out what teams are trying to do, if they're staying on script or not. So. You know, kind of same thing, you know, going back and watching film. I probably watched that film more than anything, just kind of, you know, seeing how they line up, what they're trying to take away, and some of the things that we did that, you know, we did really well, and, you know, some of the things that didn't work so well. So, you know, it gives us a chance to go back and kind of put a playlist together that, you know, hopefully, you know, give us a chance, especially early in the game, you know, until we get rolling, we figure out what they actually want to try to do to us, and trying to play us a little bit different.
And that's one thing I always loved coaching, that in basketball we got to play them twice. So once I got that first film on them, I loved playing them the second time, because our guys knew their plays better than they did.
Yeah.
And it was like, and the Spartan High never changed anything, so that was always fun playing Doug Lau, because we knew the plays, and our guys were actually saying, you're supposed to be over there on that play when they'd call Georgia Tech or something. We'd beat the guy at the spot where the ball was going, and we'd be there first and all like that. And that was always fun, the strategic part of studying the film and what to do different against them and all. All right, the question we always have each week, what do you see as being keys this time around? What do you need to do this time around, play them?
Well, you know, it seems like, especially over the last several weeks, and, you know, the one thing we talked about, we have to be able to just get a more aggressive mentality, you know, inside the red zone, especially inside the 10-yard line. You know, we got to find a way to get points on the board, you know, when we have these drives. And, you know, we had a 20-play drive the other night, and, you know, to get any points out of it, you know, we got to be able to finish these drives. I think that's the biggest key for us, you know, especially offensively. You know, defensively, I just, you know, we have an idea of, you know, what they're going to do. You know, again, it's getting hands to the football, being able to pressure a quarterback a little bit. You know, he does a good job of standing back in the pocket, and, you know, we just got to be able to get some guys to him, and just not give him all day to, you know, to find guys downfield. So I think pressuring him is going to be a big thing for us.
Okay, well, good luck, and hopefully the second time will be the charm, though. But, you know, good opportunity to go down there. Right now, nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Absolutely. We're excited about it. Thank you, Coach.
Good luck, and we look forward to seeing how the Centurions bounce back this week.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.